Well, when it rains, it pours. No sooner had I finished recording and releasing a video about Duet Night Abyss and their amazing decision to remove the gacha banners from the game entirely when, of course, a major announcement would release regarding another highly anticipated gacha game in the works. Just by the title, I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. Anata. You may be thinking, again, you just posted a semi-non-Destiny Rising related video yesterday, but I assure you, this is relevant and big. Why? Because Anata is a NetEase game. Let's get into it. You've probably heard some content creators talk about Anata in passing. It's often referred to lovingly as an anime GTA and direct competitor to Neverness to Everness, an open-world action RPG developed by Hata Studio. NetEase Studio Hata is a subsidiary of Perfect World Games, the publisher behind Tower of Fantasy, One Punch Man World, and Persona 5 The Phantom X, so they're familiar with the genre. Initially, when Anata was announced, it was compared to NetEase heavily, and in a lot of those cases, it actually lost the battle with the general consensus that NetEase was superior and was poised to take the lion's share of the market. And that's when developer Naked Rain and NetEase probably saw an opportunity. They announced today that there will be no character banners. Hey, Future Autumn here, sorry to interrupt. But I've got a direct quote from the producer of Anata regarding the monetization. Quote, "Yes, we designed this from day one as a cosmetics-only model. Immersively experiencing diversive character stories and lifestyles within the world is the gameplay. An urban open world's essence lies in letting players live a second life to dream the impossible." So, yeah, relating Anata's decision to remove character banners was probably just cope on my part. Anyways, back to the video. The gacha elements will instead shift to only cosmetics in Anata. The announcement of this decision has sent shockwaves through the gacha community and resulted in a massive surge of pre-registrations to the game, propelling it to over 11 million pre-registrations worldwide. So while we're discussing it, let's hark back to something I said in yesterday's video. Duet Night Abyss's decision to remove gacha could have an effect on the industry that reverberates to Destiny Rising. They're far from the first to do so, though. According to what UberNoob404 said yesterday in my comments on the video, Blue Protocol and Tower Fantasy have both taken approaches on transitioning their gacha systems as well. So I did a bit of digging, and I found that indeed, Blue Protocol is doing the same thing Anata is doing and making their banner content cosmetic in nature. So that's yet another major gacha game, this one by megacorporation Bandai Namco, to take a step in this direction. After the Anata announcement, I'm even more convinced that there's a very real possibility that the gacha aspect may be revised in Destiny Rising. This is complete speculation on my part, and honestly, I may be way off the mark entirely, but I imagine the decision to limit banners to cosmetics only was a decision made in a post-Duet Night Abyss announcement world, or perhaps to align with competition like Blue Protocol. NetEase was looking for an angle that could turn the tide against NetEase in their favor, and they saw positive reception to DNA's bannerless announcement and said, well, that's an angle. And it makes sense too. They already have a good track record with cosmetics being the primary revenue driver in Marvel Rivals. Why wouldn't it also work with Anata? But why again do I relate this to Destiny Rising? Simple. The infrastructure is already present. Let's say tomorrow, Wuthering Waves removed its banners. Their cosmetics are the only thing driving the profit in the game at this point. How much money are they going to make? Not a lot, because they only have 4 skins available. Same question for Honkai Star Rail. Not much. They only have 2 skins available. Now, same question for Destiny Rising. Every single character has an alt skin, and Mythics have 2 to 3 skins. So let me pose a question. If NetEase moved all the cosmetics to banners in Destiny Rising tomorrow and at the same time removed the ability to buy cosmetics with Bright Dust, would you consider that a fair trade-off? Because honestly, I would. And again, just because Anata and Blue Protocol are willing to do something prior to their releases, that doesn't mean that Destiny Rising will go that same route, especially since it's already been released. But the possibility honestly isn't zero. With enough pressure, it's entirely possible that we could see it happen. In fact, there's a part of me that thinks Season 1 and all of their marketing is a ploy to build goodwill when they pull the trigger. Though, honestly, that really could be my cope, but consider it. Who have NetEase been targeting? It's not the gacha audience, it's the shooter audience. The gacha can help turn ROI quickly, but if it's not sustainable, what's the best way to keep something going? The way I see it, there's going to be two options. The studio abandons the game, which, given that it's a licensed property, I highly doubt, or more likely, they find a new strategy to monetize going forward. A cosmetic-only gacha could be that way in. Of course, I'm making a lot of assumptions here too. We haven't even gotten September's sales numbers, but the numbers for August are out, and honestly, it's pretty impressive in my opinion. According to Gacha Revenue, Destiny Rising pulled in $2,032,000 in August, which may not sound fantastic for a gacha until you realize that the game released on August 28th, and that figure accounts for approximately 3 days of time. What's more, the game had a recorded 732,000 downloads, so it'll be interesting to see how it shapes up over the coming months. September and October will be pivotal in deciding the future of the game and its monetization strategies. But the more I consider it, the more I come to the conclusion that the gacha system is only as generous as it is because it's also supplemented already by the cosmetic side of the game to start with. At the same time though, I also don't think cosmetics in their current form would sustain the game. They would need to introduce more customizability in the cosmetics to fully flesh things out and entice the players to invest. I'll take it a step further. They could remove characters from the banners entirely, replace them exclusively with overflow crystals and cosmetics, and call it a day. I said it previously, and I'll be saying it again in the Thursday-Friday video that's a follow-up to my Destiny Rising Has a Problem video, so look forward to that one. But NetEase should make T0 base heroes free. I've got a sort of idea on how to implement this with minimal correction or overhaul to the current system, and I'll be talking about that in that video, but making sure every player owns every character is a good way to ensure that cosmetics are appealing to them. This is a lesson NetEase should know very well given the success of Marvel Rivals and another game where fashion has played a big role, Warframe. Hell, think about Big Brother Destiny 2. Where does the majority of its income come from? Here's a hint. It's not in expansions or season passes. It's Eververse. Cosmetics sell, and NetEase knows this. If you're already using a system as a supplementary system, it's not all that difficult to shift resources to that system. Blue Protocol and Anata are more examples of games that are tossing the traditional gacha formula out the window and instead leaning more into establishing a new age gacha banner type. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if NTE and Arknight's Infield also shift gears and do something similar. And the concept I'm describing isn't foreign. From what we can tell, the Anata trailer, the main character is locked to male, but you can switch to play as their companions, all of whom will be free and guaranteed to have their own cosmetic sets. This isn't just an individual occurrence. This is a new direction and trend in gacha and gacha-adjacent games. Think about it. We already have the bright engram system in Destiny Rising, which, frankly, by the way, I hate with the passion of 1,000 dying suns. But how hard would it be just to take those cosmetics and put them into a weapon cosmetic banner? Instead of engrams, give players draw vouchers as rewards. You can even still do limited banners, and continue to guarantee an overflow crystal every 60 pulls with pity in the new limited banners. It's really not a far-fetched option. Honestly, I know there are some people who think I'm way off the mark, but I truly believe that a direction of this sort isn't a crazy idea. Does it make the cosmetics more random since you're removing them from the store? Yes, but is the juice worth the squeeze? Well, that's really up to your personal opinion, but I for one would welcome it. But what's your opinion? Would you patron a cosmetic gacha system in Destiny Rising if it meant you were getting T0 characters free of charge when they dropped? Comment down below and let me know your opinion. That's all for today, but I've got one last video planned to fully present and flesh out my ideas that I want to push out either Thursday or Friday, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, I'm going to go run the new story missions in Star Rail and see if I can't pull Evernight. Catch you all in the next video.